to say hello as we are here to talk about. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show on a Monday on my regular day. I got a little time this time. So here I am, ready to roll. What's going on, everybody? Let's talk a little Cowboy content. Very briefly, it's a Freestyle Monday. I want you to go ahead now before I go through all these little preliminaries to go ahead and put down. This is your show today. Put in what you want to talk about. Put in what you want to talk about, and then we'll roll with that. How about that? I got a couple things that I want to say. Just a couple. But go ahead and put it in. I promise I'll try to go back into the chat and see exactly what it is that you're putting down. So help your boy out. You guys are kind of producers. It's a Freestyle Monday. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we have things that we could just really talk about, but a lot of the stuff that we'll be saying will be incredibly, repetitive. Because right now we're really at the point now where we just want to go ahead and get this draft going, and let's see how serious Jerry and Steven are about really improving this team. Appreciate all you that watched last night, the DC Universe show. I was on there, and Boss Cowboy, myself, and Lose Take, and Henny, and Amp, we really went there. We had a real good show last night. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And since I'm talking about that, on draft night, the DC Universe, it's going to be a whole plethora of people. They're going to make a tremendous effort in trying to do something very special on that night. All of your favorite content, pretty much all of the people that most of you guys have subscribed to, will come together as one, and we will we're going to do a top-notch draft show coming up. Boss, the OC, Law, Big Game James, myself, Henny, Landlord, Lose Takes, Amp. I don't want to really leave nobody out, but we all coming together at some points during the draft, and we will all contribute in on the show. So I hope you guys will get excited about that. Come spend the draft with us. It's not Dallas Cowboys exclusively. It is also, we're covering every team. For instance, I will be responsible for the AFC East. For the whole division. When it's at their time to come up, they'll shift the camera to me, and I will kind of inform, on what Buffalo is looking for, what the Jets are looking for, what Miami is looking for, what the Patriots are looking for, and kind of predict on what their team need and all that type of stuff. So I will be covering the entire AFC East, and you'll have some of your other favorite content creators cover other divisions as well. Of course, we going to cheer on the Cowboys. We're really trying to do something special on that night. So I hope you guys will consider hanging with us on that night. I don't know if we're doing day 2. I know we're doing day 1 for sure. We may be doing day 2 as well. Who knows? I think we're doing day 2 and 3, maybe. I don't think we're doing day 3. That'd be too much. Be kind of difficult. But I think the first 2 we will be joining in on. Listen, I want to say hello to everybody on Twitter. Those of you that are on YouTube, Facebook. I am on Instagram tonight as well. What's up? I got my Coach Cobb in the building. Rich Fraud Attack, whatever you are. So hope you guys will come and hang with us on that night as well. Okay? Let's talk real quick about what you guys want to talk about. Hey, Tori, what's up? I see you. Kid Cowboy in the building. Mr. Burns. Mr. Lee Harrison, what's up? Damani in the building, what's up? Joe, my brother in the building. These are the people that have spoken. I see I got a whole lot more on here now, but these are the people that have spoken. What's going on? Listen at any time. If you want to contribute to the podcast, financial way, if you want to say that, you can. You can use those stars if you're on Facebook. You can use Super Chat on YouTube as well. You can do that, or if you just want my Cash App, $, the Big Time Show. It was simple, very simple. $, the Big Time Show. You can do that as well. All right, let's talk real quick. Let's see what you guys want to talk about on this Freestyle Monday. Again, type it in. Hope you guys will share. Let's go ahead and get busy real quick. Let me see. I asked y'all to do. Mr. Burns said wide receiver. All signs are pointing that wide receiver is AB the legitimate pick here for us at 12. If you want to go by what the Cowboys have done, they've brought in pretty much the top 4 guys in for a visit. They brought in Ted McMillan, they brought in Matthew Golden, they brought in Luther Burden, and they brought in Ibuka. And so they brought all of them in. That's a big sign to me. The question for me is, after looking at all these guys, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I really don't know if there is really a large gap between the 4. It's just my opinion. I just don't see a large gap between Tet, who most people think he's the guy. It's really, Tet is put you in the mind of a Dez Bryant type guy. So a little bit quicker, got incredible hands, incredible athleticism, jump ball type guy, runs routes pretty decently, but he does not run the routes better than Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden does not need to outrun you to get open. He can separate by his route running. He can. He can get open just by the way he runs route. That's how Amari Cooper used to destroy defensive backs. He was just so good at route running that he could get open. Amari was not as, nowhere near as fast as Golden was, but Amari could. Appreciate you, Jay Bryan. Thank you. What's up, T Smooth? He could get open by the way that he runs. Matthew Golden is special. So it's really dependent upon your type of receiver. Both guys are fast. Of course, Golden is a little bit faster than Ted is. Both of them can hurt you, without a doubt. Both of them can destroy you. But then and then I'm just go down and then I'm giving my opinion. Luther Burden is a dangerous dude, for real. Luther Burden is just as dangerous, and although I say Tet is better, are we saying that because Burden didn't have really a quarterback? Now, I guess you could say the same thing about Tet. Okay, but Burden is a real problem. He can get you. He can run past you. He's not as polished as Golden is at route running, but that really isn't just a blazing difference between Ted and Burton. I'm just giving what I done seen. If you told me I had who I had to pick, I think Ted is just a little better to me than Burton. And then Ibuka, he's almost just like Golden. Route runner, polished, smooth, catch everything, can get separation by the way that he runs. A problem. All four guys I just named would be A1 starters at the wide receiver 2 position. And you would be happy with either one. It's no different. So then to me, you don't have to agree with me. To me, it then becomes, okay, who fits Dak Prescott better? You see what I'm saying? And history shows, and I guess this may be wrong to say about Dak because it was different. When he had Dez, Dak was, still learning. He wasn't nowhere near the quarterback that he is now when he had Dez Bryant. Because Dez really and Dak, to me, didn't work too well together. That's because Dak was I'm gonna throw it to you, but you gotta be open. Well, we all know Dez was open when he was covered. And Dak was not so comfortable like Romo was throwing it there. You gotta have a gunslinger mentality to have a guy like Dez was. Because Dez was really, Dez could outrun some folks, but a lot of times he was covered. He was so big, and of course he could jump real high and, cause major damage like that. So my question is, at this point in Dak's career, there it is. My brother in the building, Jay Bryant. Of course, if y'all want to know, I told you guys about him the last show, how I value his work. And I got JD in here too. See what I'm saying? So all you gotta do is look at that. He's done the work. He has a whole draft board that you can see, and he's almost sound like me a little bit. He said he's different between Ted. Ted runs good routes, but not great. That kind of sound like Dez. Has elite hands and size. That sound like Dez. Golden has elite speed and route running. That's what I was just saying. Burden is versatile, but not polished. So he's not great at route running. He's still, I ain't gonna say he's raw, but he still can get better. And Danny Booker kind of remind me of Golden a little bit. He's solid, real solid. So he ready to go right now. He's ready to play right now. So my question is, again, who fits Dak better? We've heard the term for years about Dak friendly and all that type of stuff. Well, if we were still going by that, my question is, who's the most Dak friendly wide receiver? To me, even though I love Ted, I love him. But the real answer is, who's the most Dak friendly receiver? It's got to be Golden. At this point, it has to be Golden. At this point, to me, Golden immediately steps in, becomes that number 2 wide receiver that can destroy single coverage. Does everybody say we need something that's going to, take some relief off of Dak Prescott? Matthew Golden is that guy. Ted is that guy too, man. Ted is that guy. See what I'm saying? So I really believe that, most people are, by now you can tell the narrative that most, people within the Cowboys think that they love Golden. And I can understand why. I can see it. And so I think that's the answer. I hope I answered your question, Mr. Burns. I think that Golden probably is the guy. And to be truthful, he his way of playing, uh, to me, fits Dak better. To me, yeah. So let's keep that in mind. All right. What else y'all want to talk about? Let's see here. What about running backs? Lee Harrison said. It's gonna be interesting to see how the Cowboys attack this. I think Amp said something that I kind of have the same thought process. Because the narrative again about this year's draft, and it's true, is that the running back position is deep. And it is. But here's the problem. Well, here's the pushback. It is deep, but there has to be some type of levels. You see what I'm saying? To this running back game. Running back position. And what I mean is, I think it's universally known that Genty is the best of this year's crop, probably. So, if you think he's, great, okay, if you say he's great, okay, you stay there with great. And then after him, what's the next level? Very good, maybe. And then after those running backs, then we got the good ones. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be level. So if you're saying Genty is the best, and depending on what you categorize him as, if you think he's great or if you think he's very, very good, then what are you saying about a guy like RJ Harvey then, who's not as good as Genty, at least in my opinion? So what is he categorized as? If Genty is very good, then RJ Harvey, who's gonna get picked later on, day 3, maybe day 4, and he's very good. But I'm saying, he's not on that level of Genty. So what do you categorize him as? Good. You know what I'm saying? Good. Good or whatever. Okay, so if Genty is the best and nobody, is in his class, I'm not saying that's not the case, but what do we categorize Hampton as? If Genty is very good, if what do we call Hampton? Good. What do we call Henderson from Ohio State? Good. What do we call I'm just throwing names out. Dylan Sampson. What do we call Caleb Johnson? What do we call that? What do we call Scatterboo? What do we call Smith from SMU? Martinez from Miami. There's got to be different levels to this thing. And my hope is, or my fear is that because the running back room is so deep, that the Cowboys may have this nonchalant attitude like they've had for the last few years about the running back position now. That they say, we just pick up one in the 5th round. Well, do you want to add a difference maker, or do you just want to add somebody who's quote unquote, just good? You see what I'm saying? When you got a chance to add real value, you see what I'm saying? When you have a chance to really make a difference in your pick, I want the best. I don't want third, second and third, I don't want that. It just really all depends on, your value. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, let's just be honest. I see Greg said Genty and Hampton are both first round picks. That's true. But if you get a Henderson in the 2nd round, are you happy? I would be. You get a Henderson from Ohio State. You see what I'm saying? and of course, I don't believe Genty will be there, and by no means. I think he's obviously. I think he's gonna be Raider bound. I think he's going to Vegas. That's what I believe. But I'm saying if you don't get that and you have this attitude of saying, well, the running back room is so deep, so we can go wide receiver first, and then we can go cornerback, or we can go, whatever in the second round, whatever you want to do. But if your attitude is saying, oh, we'll get a running back, the running back room is so deep. We can go get junkies. We can, I'm just throwing names out. Devin Neal, from Kansas. I'm just saying, if your attitude is that, then have you really addressed the running back room? See what I'm saying? I don't. I mean, if we gonna make a difference, let's make a difference. That's what I'm saying. I would love, unless it's just an obvious guy in the second round, because I believe Cowboys going wide receiver. Why not go get the running back? You just loaded up your offense again. I'm talking about one of the with a difference maker. If Hampton past the second round, past the first round, and he's there, let's get him. You gonna add a Tet or a Golden at 12, and then come right back around and add a Amari and Hampton? Oh my goodness, yes sir. Let's go. Now that's what you call. You can all look. The Cowboy fans be so happy if you went wide receiver, running back like that. I mean, the rest of the draft, they're not going. Cowboy fans would be so happy just with those couple picks there. They say we got an 8 for the draft. Just with those two, you're gonna get something in the third. You know you're gonna get something later on. But I'm just saying, those two picks, home run pick, would make up for the singles. You know what I'm saying? Hampton and Golden would be Barry Bonds type home run, 450, 475. See what I'm saying? And if you was to get those type of picks, then you cool with the base hit. A lot of the guys that we're gonna pick anyway probably won't make the team in the first place. Might be practice squad guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Everybody that we draft is not gonna make this thing. So we already should know that. See what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. I've been saying it since day one, since we finished the season, that since we knew we were drafting at 12, okay? I've been saying we got to hit in these first 3 rounds. They need to be home runs. Every pick. That's the only way I'm going to be satisfied. Now, home runs can come in a lot of different ways. It can come in alignment. It can come in a defensive tackle. It can even come in at corner. It can come in at linebacker. To me, it's a lot of different ways I can hit home runs now. But it better be a home run. That's all I'm saying. I don't want the reaching pick and all that time. No. I'm just saying. There you go. That's what we said. Last night, I think Jake was on watching us last night. And you see pretty much what we all said, and then Jay put in his as well. You see it. That's the running backs there. And we talking about guys that are going to be picked possibly in past the second round. And everybody can play. There's levels to this. And I don't think we're gonna get Genty. And if he's there, obviously you take him, but I just don't think he's gonna be there. And then you keep going after that. And then you gotta be prepared. Hey, Leon, Leon says Ted at 12. Well, what if Ted ain't there? What if Genty's gone? Ted ain't there? Now you gotta come on and make still some home run hitters there. But you got to give me a home run at 12 now. It's no question. And I ain't talking about splash. You don't have to be splash. If you don't think Golden or Golden ain't the guy, actually it'll make it easy if Ted is gone by 12. Because I think it'll be obvious that Golden would be the pick. The drama will come if Ted and Golden are there. That's where the drama is. There's no question about it. So I just want to say that about the running back position. Like you have to, at some point, you're gonna go from yes, Hampton, yes, Henderson, yes, Genty. Then you'll go to somebody like Dylan Sampson, even though he can play, without a doubt. And you'll go, okay, okay, Dylan Sampson, okay. Or you'll go Caleb Johnson, you'll say, yeah, he's good. You see the difference in the tone. Yeah, man. They don't know nothing about Mason Graham. I know about it, But you see what I'm saying? When you're drafting this high, you got to make impact. And some of you may say, well, Caleb Johnson is impact. Yes, but when you got the chance to make, get somebody even better than Caleb Johnson, you got to make that pick. You understand? I'm just, and that's the part I'm worried about. Like, if you're gonna go defensive tackle in the second round, then is that really gonna be impact? I'm serious. I ain't saying you're giving up, but if you go a defensive tackle second round, are you automatic? I applaud you for bringing competition for Mozzie Smith. There is no competition from Osi. Osi will be a star. But if you're bringing competition over for Mozzie, okay, I like that. But will you have the guts to have the guy that you drafted in the second round to be your starter alongside Osi? See, the Cowboys have a problem with that because they say we don't like to give up on our guys early. If we're paying guys, then those guys are the starters and all that type of stuff. See, that's the mentality that got to leave. I'm sorry. If you're bringing in defensive tackle at pick 44, that's fine. He better be one of the best. That's all I'm saying. I don't want guys gonna be saying like, oh, okay, well, he all right. Not at 44. Not at 44. If you're bringing in a cornerback, okay, corner ain't really just being discussed a lot, in the first round. Not really, other than Will Johnson and maybe, another guy maybe. But in the second round, if he's not one of the top 3 or 4 cornerback, then what are we reaching for? See what I'm saying? So I got to have it in these first 3 rounds now. I'm promising y'all. Take this a promise from me. Exactly, Jay Bryant. See, this is what I'm talking about. See Kenneth Grant there? See what Jay Bryant is saying here? If you're telling me these are the guys, okay, these are the guys in round 2, I'm raising my hands up. I'm saying, yes, great pick. That's a home run. He ain't splashed like a wide receiver or a running back. But if this is what they're doing, I'm very happy. Because I know I got a difference maker. Kenneth Grant was a difference maker in Michigan when he was on the court, when he was on the field. Williams was a difference maker. And it's just like Jay said, I think they're better than Mozzie now. Guess what? If they're better than Mozzie, then that's your other starter beside Osi. So you drafted a starter. I can live with that. I can live with that. But if you're talking about, just a jag, just another guy, I can't. That's what's gonna tick me off a little bit. All right. So personally, I would love wide receiver running back. If Gentry is there at 12, which of course I don't, there's no way. But if he was there, I'd take running back, wide receiver, round 2. See, one thing about that's the other thing, y'all. That's the other thing. That could be a lazy type mentality, even in the wide receiver thought process of the Cowboys. See, if all you talking about is, well, we can get wide receiver at the bottom, so that's why we even thinking about trading back. Okay, that's why we even thinking about trading back, because we believe Burden, we believe Ibuka would be there, and we're satisfied with those two, and I would be too. But if you got a chance to get Golden or Tech there, why settle for quote unquote second best? And this is what we do, because we try to be the smartest guy in the room. No, we'll just go ahead and draft offensive line in the first round, and then we'll find a way to trade. We'll find a way to get wide receiver in round 2. I wouldn't be happy. Although I love Booker, I would love Booker on this team. Definitely an offensive lineman. I would love him. But see, my problem is I don't like the mentality. I don't like the mentality. You got a chance to shoot your shot. Shoot the shot. And when you drafting that high, 12, that's high. You got to go ahead and get loose on this thing. You got to. Hey, what's up? What's up, Darius? How you doing, man? You got to do it while you got the chance. You drafting 12. We don't plan on drafting this high for the next couple years. We don't plan on doing that, right? We ain't trying to draft the top 15 every year. This is a rarity for us. So when you got the chance like this, you got to go ahead and hit home runs. You don't have time for theories and trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Go get some ball players. When you got the chance, get you some real ball players. That's just me, y'all. Now, Jay Bryan just said on there, my brother, he said, I think we had the right coach to coach Mozzie up. But when you drafting in the first round, though, Jay, and I get it, and I believe that I believe you're right. I believe we're all right, those that agreed with us last night, that in the case of a defensive tackle, you got to give him time. 3 years, that's usually, that's about the time to do it. But in year 2, even though we saw some improvement out of Mozzie's only problem is that he was drafted in the first round. So there's expectation on him because he's a first round pick. And based off where he was picked, he hasn't met the expectation yet, even though he has improved. Even though he has improved, is not what we think where he ought to be by now. So that's the only thing I can say about him. But if you draft one of these guys, Mozzie will be a rotational guy. It's just that simple. It ain't even no question about that. He will be a rotational guy. And so you're really not saying you give up on him. You just made the gun a little bit more potent with the weapon, with the bullets that you put in it. I hope nobody ain't getting offended by that, but I'm just saying. We need some more real bullets. I ain't talking about no BB gun bullet. I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about stuff that's gonna make a defensive coordinator, if make them stay up a little bit longer at night trying to figure stuff out. Or offensive coordinator staying up a little bit later because you just added another real bullet on defense. That's what I'm talking about. And Mozzie is just a real good. I ain't gonna say real good. I'm just saying he's more of a role player than a real difference maker. Now, this might be the year for him. Who knows? But as of now, what we seen, ain't nobody scared of Mozzie Smith. Nobody. Ain't nobody scared of Mozzie. I need offensive coordinators to have to think about stuff. Oh yeah. I'm just saying. Let me reach on now. Hope I answered your question. Let me see what we got here. Kid Cowboy and Jay Bryant are dominating. Chat. Let me see this. Oh, great question, Shane. Man, I could stay here all the rest of the night here. Easy. He say we are looking at the draft, not knowing what the scheme is now. Do y'all think the scheme changes drastically? First things first, Shane. That question there, I could do a whole hour and a half on that. Now, you guys can disagree with me, and I'll welcome the comment. Again, this is just my opinion. Your quarterback is probably one of your. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Everybody type this in. I just want to see if y'all thinking what I'm thinking. Everybody type this in. We're judging this off of all the offense combined. So that means wide receivers, tight end, offensive line, quarterback, running back. Name me your top. Name me your top 5 offensive weapons. They can come from anywhere. Offensive line, wide receiver, running back, tight end group. Name me your top 5 best offensive players. Let's just say it like that. Everybody's healthy. Give me your top 5. And this really gonna ask you a question. Shane. Come on, put it down, y'all. Type it in. Those of you that are on Instagram. I see y'all on Instagram. Y'all funny. Y'all funny. Y'all funny. I think some of my kids on. Give me your top 5. And see, this is where let me just skip over because y'all not putting it in. So I didn't want to see what y'all gonna say. Let me say this. Especially if we draft wide receiver at 12, automatically your best group would be your wide receiver group. If you add a Golden with CD, I mean, come on now. If you add a Tech, no, on our offensive team right now, Jeff. And that's minus. That's minus. I mean, we didn't draft it yet, so we don't know who it is. But I'm just saying, right now as we speak, name our top 5 offensive players: lineman, running back. And while one of our best is gone, that was Rigo. So I mean, we already know that's done. So name our top offensive weapons. See, this is my opinion. I'll just go ahead and just say it. Your top weapon, especially with Rico gone, it is the passing game. There's no question about that. A lot of us are still complaining about offensive line play. So other than maybe who we talking about, maybe Tyler Smith, Zach Martin is gone now. Tyler Smith, all pro. He's probably the best option we have there. Probably one of our top offensive players, top 5 offensive players, but that's just one guy. BB and Guyton aren't considered to be top 5 offensive players. I doubt they're very serious. So when you think about that, if you add a Golden or a Tet to this team, he said real off alone in the dirt. Okay. He said Javante, he says Turpin, Jake Ferguson. See, my only pushback, Jay, is if you're going to have CD there, and I know Dak was hurt last year, but you got to have Dak in there somewhere. Top 5 at least. But he's the one throwing the ball. That's just me. But as of right now, the offensive best part of our offense is the passing game. If you add a killer or a guy that's going to be a difference maker at wide receiver, come on now. Your offensive scheme, it'll be great if you add one of these running backs to it. But I just don't believe, y'all, that we just gonna run the ball like y'all think. I think I saw Talib say it. I don't think so. I think it ain't gonna really change, Shane. There will be more running, but it depends on what your expectation of the running game really will be. I don't think that we really just gonna pound it like most people think we are. I think we will be in a position to run it when we need to and be extremely effective in it. I believe it'll be somewhat more of a balance. But make no mistake about it, if you add a Ted or a Golden to this team with Ferguson and CD on the other side, you gonna pass the football. You'd be wrong if you didn't. I don't see why you wouldn't throw the ball. And so I believe that'll be the philosophy. I know Schottenheimer and Clayton Adams have this, running game type thing going, and I understand that that's philosophy, but at the same time, you can't ignore what the strength of your football team is, and it would be your wide receiver room, and you can throw the quarterback in with that as well because he's the one that got to get the ball. No, it's no question. So I don't know how we say that, I believe it when we see it. And a lot of the running game, y'all, is going to be dependent on who we get. If you get a Gentry, if you get a Amar and Hampton, if you get Junkins, if you get, it's a lot of guys. I'm serious. There's a lot of guys there. Sampson is good. Harvey is good. I'm saying that, but are you, it's going to be another running back by committee type effort with just a little bit more, talent than we had last year. I still think it's going to be, obviously, the running back by committee thing But your top running back, I mean, how many carries is he really gonna get a game? Your top running back. I know it's gonna be split, but are we talking your top running back is only gonna get somewhere between maybe 15 to 19 carries, 15 to 20? Your second running back may be, somewhere 7, 8 maybe. Well, if you do that, that's 28 times running a game. You would take that. But I have to see it. I have to see the commitment to the running game before I start. I don't care who the coaches are. I have to see it, especially when I know what's the strongest point of my offense. So I have to see it. So to me, if you made me guess now, Shane, on what it would be, I would say I don't know. If you made me pick, I would say that we passing the ball. Dak still gonna get 40, over 4,000 yards passing. He's gonna get 30 touchdowns, and he's gonna be right up there in completion percentage. He's gonna do it again because he's gonna have to push the ball, but that's where the guys are. I believe that. I really do. Yeah. Jay Bryant, and then like Jay was saying, when we start talking about this type of stuff, we're talking about guys who are gonna have double position. As some of these guys gonna have to play special teams. Will Deuce make the team? Will he find a way to stay on the team this year? Is he gonna be a practice squad guy again? I agree to leave, but that's why I was saying, if you got basically the same type of personnel. Now I know Schottenheimer, he comes in, as a new coach, offensive coordinator, all of that kind of stuff. I get it, but I just don't see the drastic change. The line, BB will be better, in my opinion. Guyton, I believe, will be better. And after, but how much? You see what I'm saying? Like I expect a jump, but when it comes to BB and Guyton, but how much of a jump? Are they going to be dominant? Or are they just going to be, pretty good? And will pretty good be enough to get you where you need to be? Whatever that expectation is. I don't know. I'm just saying. So, to answer the question, the strongest point on your offense right now as we speak is your quarterback and your wide receivers. I'm just saying. That's the way I feel. So now if you told me I had Genty, then I would say, okay, we running the ball now. That's when I say, man, look, it ain't no question about what we getting ready to do. If you tell me I got a Marion Hampton, well, a Marion Hampton is really a double-edged sword because he can catch the ball at the backfield. We can almost look. Don't get me wrong here, please do not. I'm saying he would have that dual running back type of feel for me. He could be like Saquon. I ain't saying he is Saquon. I'm saying he'll have that double field. You don't know if he's catching out the backfield. See what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? He can obviously run it over 1,000 yards. He might dang near get close to 1,000 yards catching the football. He's that type of guy. I mean, I don't know if he get that many opportunities, but I'm just saying he can do that. He's capable of doing that. So it depends on who you get and who you want to be. I think you need to get some real splash into whoever you get from running back because you already got these bruisers right behind him. Williams, Hunter Lemke, if you want to throw him in as somewhat of a bruiser as well. You got him. You have to be really smart about that. So it's interesting. Kid Cowboy, I guess, is in an argument with somebody. I think he said he got me down. The only problem with you is Kid Cowboy when it comes to Dak's standings is very simple. He does not get 4,000 yards if he's hurt. I will agree with you on that. But if he's primarily healthy, out of 17 games and he plays at least 14, 15 games, he gets 4,000 yards easy because that's what he does. That's what he does. Too much history shown with that. And he's had less talent and still puts up those numbers. You give him, one of those bona fide wide receivers, look out. That's all I'm gonna say. So he does that. That ain't even thought about. Then your argument, Kid Cowboy, would be going to the postseason. What has he done in the postseason? Because you ain't gonna be able to hold weight on. You're not gonna be able to hold weight on him not getting 4,000 yards. But that's what he does. Been doing that. Long as he's healthy. I would agree with you. If he's not healthy, no, he's not gonna get it. But if he is, that's easy. The question would be, will he get between 43 and 4,400 yards then? 4,000, that ain't nothing to him. Seriously. Let's see what else we got here. I appreciate all you guys. Everybody hit that like button. I ain't said that in a while. Y'all smash that like button. I need about 20 from every one of y'all. Just smash it real quick. Smash the like button for me. If you don't mind. Let me see what else I got here. I'll let you guys produce the show. So far, y'all talking some good stuff. I don't think I see anything. Let me see. Y'all are talking about previously Brooks and Florida. Let's see here. All right, Jay. I like Jay. That answers the question from Shane earlier. He said, I think the scheme, based on what we hear, is going to look like San Francisco in the run and Detroit in the passing game. Now that fits because Jared Goff and Dak essentially played the same type of game. Short, intermediate throws, highly, successful in that. You really don't see Goff really just bombing it out really crazy. Goff is highly efficient like that. And then you throw in the run game. He said like San Francisco, where, when you got a Christian McCaffrey there, who can do dual threat type things. I can see that. I think that's a good analysis. Don't know if they're gonna go that far with it, but if that is the scheme of the Cowboys offensive staff, then I don't have no problem with it. I don't have any problem with it at all. No, because you're gonna be efficient with that. And, that's really what we run. We run the. Is there any team that run the comeback route or the curl route, whichever way you want to call it, more than us, or the slant route more than us? And see, the ones that I'm calling, these are considered, short intermediate type, routes that require a run after the catch. You see what I'm saying? Those are the type that are there. Also, keep in mind that if you got two receivers, I guarantee you, now you mark this down. If you give me a Golden or a Tet as your wide receiver two with CD, Jake Ferguson will have his greatest season of his life. Because we saw this with Dalton Schultz. When we had Amari Cooper, when we had Gallup, a healthy Gallup, and I think, CD was a rookie and he was, a lot in the slot as well. Dalton Schultz, man, Dak Prescott got Dalton Schultz paid. Hello. Why you think Dalton Schultz got all that money from Houston? It wasn't because he was just one of the greatest tight ends in the game. It's that he put up some major league numbers because of, who, Mr. Prescott. I would expect the same thing out of Jake Ferguson. No question. No question. In my mind at all. No question. I can see that. Dak will have one of his best years. No question in my mind. Joe says, do I think this offensive line, or do I like this offensive line we got right now? Should we draft offensive line player in the first round? Well, first of all, you're not going to ever replace a Zach Martin. Zach Martin type of guys come around once every 20, 25 years. He's different. When you're a Hall of Fame player and you done had tens of thousands of players play and there's only 350 some odd guys that's in the Hall of Fame, those 359 were different. All freakish, all world type players. That's what Zach Martin is. It's hard to find Zach Martins. They don't float around in the draft every year. However, from this draft class in these 7 rounds, in about another 20 years or so, some of these guys are going to get a gold jacket. We just don't know who it is quite yet. There's going to be a Hall of Famer that come out of this draft, whatever round it is. Somebody's going to make the Hall of Fame. And if you were looking at things, as far as offensive lineman goes, Joe, there is one that has a comp of a guy that you know is going to make the Hall of Fame. And that is Mr. Booker. His comp was Quentin Nelson. You don't know who Quentin Nelson is. That's the guard, all-pro guard, who's been an all-pro since his rookie year of the Indianapolis Colts. I think Quentin Nelson is in his 5th year or so. Okay. Quentin Nelson has been an all-pro since he walked in the door. That's what you call different. Their comp is saying that this dude is on that level. So, and when you look at his tape, you see how dominant he was in college. He's nasty, he's mean, and he would be a great fit at guard for us, even if you drafted him at 12. Do I think they're gonna do that in the first round? I don't think so. Watch this though. Would I be mad if they pick Booker in the first round? I would be happy. Fan base may not be happy, but I would be happy because I consider Booker a home run pick. Especially if he's paying out for the next 8 to 10 years. I mean, good Lord. He could very well be your next guard. And like I think that was Boss that said that last night. I echo his statement, what Boss said. If you was to pick Booker in the first round, man, you just solidified your offensive line probably for the next 8 years, maybe, barring injury. You take care of that in with that one pick. Guyton and Beebe are going into their second year. Tyler Smith is young. The only question will be Steele at right tackle, and that ain't as bad as everybody painted it to be. I mean, you just took care of most of your offensive line for the next 8 years. If you pick Booker first round, you just solidified your line, and they're only gonna get better. And that's not a bad thing to think about. Seriously. I see you, Jay Bryant. Another guy there, Zabel, another one. If you pick him. If you put Zabel, if you pick him, you just solidified the line. Next God knows how many years. I'm just saying. But Brian, check it out though. See, that's because we've been so spoiled by offensive linemen with Dallas because our offensive linemen have been so good. We talking Pro Bowl, all pro level. That is strange when we see somebody don't do as well. I say the jury is still out on Guyton. He could come in this second year and just flat out destroy people. So we got to count on. We got to kind of wait on him. That's what you can't quite judge him. He was okay. He was a rookie. We just so used to rookies being all pros. You see what I'm saying? That's what our problem. We've been spoiled. With all these great linemen that we've had over the last 10 to 12, 15 years. Oh my God. We've been super spoiled. Super spoiled. Even guys who weren't really thought it. I mean, Tyler Biotis did make 2 Pro Bowls with us. He wasn't considered to be a great center, but with us, he was a 2-time Pro Bowl center. See what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So I hold off judgment on Guyton, Brian. I would. Let's just hold up. Let's give him. Let's see how he responds this year. Heard he been in the weight room a whole lot. Oh, heard he's getting stronger. Just got his feet wet last year. Got his feet wet. Now, let's see. Plus, he was injured too last year. Y'all know that. We don't know how well he comes back from that. He could have been playing hurt. And maybe the injury affected him. We don't know. We'll just hold off on that. Okay. Let's see. I see what Jay Bryant he's saying it, and some of these names here that you saying. Mr. Jackson, I mean, Donovan Jackson is good, very good too. Just all depend on what you say. Josh Simmons, he says, great player. You'll be happy with him. And he got, what's the key word? He has position flex. That's what the Cowboys love. An offensive line, play 2 positions. So got to keep that in mind as well. All right. Kid Cowboy first says this. which yeah, they can fix the running back position just by picking the right guy. Kid Cowboy on that. But I agree with you that it's a lot of it's not a lot of periods. It's a lot of question marks. It's a lot of question marks. I agree with that. But you can fix that with the right pick. See, one real good pick at running back will settle a lot of that. And then you said this, which is probably your best comment. I ain't read all your stuff, what you've been saying, but that has got to be your number one best comment of the show so far. Say penalties have to stop on offense. That has been the killer of the Cowboys for how many years now? And that was before Mike McCarthy. That was when Kellen Moore was running the offense. I mean, it's kind of like the defensive tackle position. It's just something we ain't solved yet. Every year we got the same question: who gonna stop the run? Where are our defensive tackles? We've been saying that for the last God knows how long. And penalties. That's been the two most consistent statements about us the last decade. So we'll see what Schottenheimer brings to the table on that, because it's been obviously a problem in the McCarthy era, the Jason Garrett, Kellen Moore era as far as running offense. It's been, as usual, Kid Cowboy. That's why I stopped reading that, because as usual, you'll find a way to blame Dak. Dak ain't got nothing to do with holding penalties. That ain't got nothing to do with Dak Prescott, Kid Cowboy. You try, but I can't let you slide on that one. Holding calls don't have nothing to do with Dak Prescott, so just stop it. If you're talking about false starts, I don't believe that's on Dak either. They practice, they know his cadence, they know all that stuff. I can't quite give you on that one too. Could be an issue of crowd noise on the road. It could be a plethora of things they just can't hear. I mean, come on. I know you want to blame Dak for the sun not shining. So I know it. I understand. I get it. All right, Kid Cowboy. Let me get back to my regular, because I knew you were gonna start sooner or later, so I'm gonna leave you alone. Okay. Anything else on here? Anything else? I'll let you guys alone. Trying to make sure I get all you guys on here. Let's see. What else do I need? I'll just close it out like this. First of all, I appreciate all you guys hanging with me tonight. It was good to be back on Monday night. I'm just glad I finally got back to my day on Monday. The only reason why I got there is because my son didn't have practice tonight. So don't set it in stone. That's the only reason why I was able to be with you guys tonight. But I'm grateful for that. Let me say this about my fear, and that is simply Jerry and Steven messing this thing up. I mean, you can't ask for a better scenario unless you're drafting higher than 12. It's just that you're hoping. Most Cowboy fans are saying the same thing, like, please don't mess this up. See, that means you don't have complete confidence in your front office. You know they have the ability to jank this thing up. You know they have that type of ability to mess this whole thing up. And that is my fear. By making a pick, trying to be the smartest guy in the room. You know what I'm saying? You'll make a pick that nobody has at 12, and they'll be like, you drafted him over all of this that was there for you, and you drafted him? We did that with Mozzie first round. Mozzie really wasn't even a first round guy. Everybody, when Tyler Smith got picked, even though it turned out they were smart then, but they got booed. But Tyler got booed because he was, picked in the first round, and he really, folks saying he should have been a second round guy, all that type of stuff. You just don't want to be in that position drafting at 12, man. You got to get 12 right. And you got a lot of positions. Would you be mad if the Cowboys picked linebacker at 12? Long as it's one of the best ones, it ain't what you wanted. I mean, if Will Johnson is there from Michigan, the cornerback, and he drops all the way to 12, are you gonna really be mad? See what I'm saying? So you just can't mess up 12. You just can't mess that up. You gonna have too many choices. If you pick O-line at 12, but you really, some of y'all be fire hot mad, but was it a quality pick? See what I'm saying? I just gave y'all 3. And now if you pick a safety in the first round, I'm gonna be like, man, what are you doing? Even though some good safeties there, but we don't need safety at 12. But you trying to be the smartest guy in the room. I don't want that. That's really my point tonight. We have got to get these first 3 picks. We don't have a 4th round pick, as everybody knows. We got a scammer in here. I've seen this before. Deucey hateful. Joe, don't worry about that. I'm going to get this person. This is a scammer here. Got her off. All right. Got that out the way. All right. When you drafting these first 3 picks, as far as see, Brian, that's what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? Stuff like that, even though we know they don't happen, but you catch what I'm saying. We can't mess it up. We have to, when people say who won day 1, or at the end of round 3 or 4, the Cowboys need to be up there when they say they won the draft. It may not be number 1, but they need to be up there with these first 3 picks. You got to do it. Well, Joe, that's every team's nightmare. When you have one of those real good guys at quarterback, and you get a backup quarterback, your job is, can they just steer the ship? In the case where the starter can come back. But if he can't come back, you just got to hope that the people around you. See, that's another thing. That's the reason why you better get some real weapons, around with those first 3 picks. And I'm still saying that, we need to get at least 2. And I'm saying wide receiver and running back, because you all know if you surround the quarterback, whoever he is, with real good talent, you got a good chance of keeping things kind of, above the water. That's what happened to Cooper Rush. It was the talent around him, whether that was offensively and defensively. They kept the boat above the water. So I agree with you on that. That's why I'm saying go get you. See, Matthew Golden is going to get open whoever the quarterback is. CeeDee Lamb is going to get open whoever the quarterback is. Whoever the running back is, they still going to be able to have the ability to run the football. They may have to run it from a tighter box or something if Dak is not there, but I'm still saying at least they have the ability to do it. That's why you got to give him something to work with. So that's all I'm saying. Jerry and Steven, This is the time, y'all, what I've been telling y'all all summer long, off season, long, that the time now, ball is strictly in the court. They want to be in charge. The ball is strictly in the hands now of Jerry and Steven. It's not in the hands of Brian Schottenheimer. It's not in the hands of Matt Uberflus. It's not in the hands of Will McClay. Well, partially Will McClay and the scouting department, but they've already done their work. I'm quite sure they're meeting every day to practice the draft and practice scenarios and all that, but the work has been done. See what I'm saying? The work has been done already. That's why they get together and do all the scenarios. They have in mind where they're going with this thing. They do. They're practicing scenarios about, these 3 or 4 guys are here at 12. What do we do? If these guys are not here, how far do we really want to trade back? If these guys are not here, we wait patiently. If we trade down, how far do we want to go down? All that type of stuff. Can we get a pick, another pick in the 4th round so that we can have a pick in every round? All these scenarios are what they playing with now. No doubt about it. And I hope they make the right decision. That's my only fear. That's my only fear. I'm just saying. All right. I appreciate you guys. Let's get out of here. Thanks for hanging with me. Our brothers will be, I'm quite sure that if they're not on now, boss will be on probably about another 45 minutes or so. I don't know if Henny is on right now. I don't know. But if y'all not tired of Dallas Cowboy content, check out my brothers. And you can keep that out. But as far as the big time show goes, man, I appreciate y'all so much. Hit that like button as you go out, if you don't mind. Thanks to all of you guys that have on Instagram. Appreciate you so much. And we're going to get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it again. Another show. Made it out of here. Now, come on, rock out with me. Y'all know what time it is. This has been the Big Time Show.